Welcome to HopeKids Online. In today's part of the Big God Story, we're going to be talking about food, and we're even going to be talking about leftovers. You guys like leftovers? Sometimes I do. Sometimes I'm looking in the fridge. I look in the fridge a lot. Sometimes I look in the fridge and I'm like, hey, look at that. Sometimes I'm like, oh, that's what we got left. All right. So, you know, we all have different feelings about leftovers. But I wonder if you have a leftover that you like. Maybe you're like, man, Mama, if you would make some more of this, we'd have more leftovers. That'd be awesome. So I'm going to give you guys a little bit of time to talk about this with your family. What is your favorite leftover? Go.
Oh, hey guys, how you doing? Sorry I got held up. Something amazing happened. Okay, I'm glad I could get a connection out here so I can share it with you. Oh, well, I'm kind of out in the middle of nowhere. Well, let's start from the beginning. Okay, so I was with a bunch of friends and we heard that Jesus was headed out here. So me and my friends and more than 5,000 other people decided to follow him out. Man, was he out here. You might also think these people would come, be healed, and go home. But they didn't. They stayed and stayed until it got dark. And as we know, we are very far away from any towns. There's no shelter, no bathrooms, no food. And we're all starting to get hungry.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't see you there. I thought everyone had left.
Oh, it's all right. Ooh, you know, even though this bed hit me in the head, this is delicious.
What's that? Who are they?
Oh, it's just a piece of technology that will be invented in about 2,000 years.
Technology?
Technology?
Technology.
No, it's technology.
Shoot.
It's
Frank?
No, that's all right. Don't worry about it. Anyway, these are my friends, and they are at church right now. Can you all say hi?
Whoa! John, get over here. You need to check this out. Whoa! What was that? He called it Technolobob.
Technology.
What he said. Wow. That's amazing. Who are they?
These are my friends, and they're in church right... Wait a second, who are you guys?
Oh, my name is Matthew. And I'm John.
Wait, you mean like Matthew and John, Jesus' disciples?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'm the one he loves the most.
Oh.
Says you.
Wow, well, I was just about to tell my friends about the miracle Jesus just performed. Maybe you guys would like to help tell the story.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I plan on writing it down in about 50 years or so. Yeah, I do too.
Great. Well, I was telling them about how more than 5,000 of us came out here to see Jesus.
Yeah, well, maybe you should start from a little ways before that.
Yeah.
Oh. Do you even know why he came out here in the first place?
No, I just heard he was coming out here.
Oh, okay, well, we'll start from there. Do you remember John the Baptist? No, not this John. Sadly, John the Baptist was killed by the evil King Herod.
Wow, I didn't know. Wasn't John the Baptist Jesus' cousin?
Yeah, he was. Jesus was really sad. He needed some time to get away from the town and get out and spend some time in prayer alone with his Father God.
Really? Man, I had no idea. Now I feel bad. I wish I would have known so I could have had some compassion on him.
Do you know what compassion means? We might think that we feel compassion when we see someone who is poor, left out, or hurting, and we feel sorry for them. But compassion is much more than that. Compassion is something that comes from deep inside of us. A feeling that is so overwhelming that we can't help but do something about it.
Mm-hmm. And speaking of compassion, that's exactly what Jesus showed in this situation. Jesus saw the crowds of people who had gathered, and he had compassion on them.
Yep. And that's why he served them. He healed their sick and told them about God.
Wow. Jesus does show a lot of compassion.
Yeah, and you might think that only a couple of people would follow Jesus out into the middle of nowhere, but...
No, but more than 5,000 of us came.
Yeah.
So even though Jesus was tired, he had compassion to teach and to heal and to help the people that had all come to see him.
And we stayed until it got dark. Again, with no shelter, bathrooms, or food all the way out here.
Yeah, so no offense, but...
But what?
Well, we kind of told Jesus to send the crowds away, so they'd go to the village and buy themselves some food.
But even though he was sad and tired, Jesus had compassion on the people. And that meant he cared about their hunger. And he also cared about them enough to not send them away even when they needed him.
Yeah. So Jesus said to us, give them all something to eat. They don't need to go away.
Oh, wow. So you guys must have been pretty overwhelmed.
You have no idea. Philip even told Jesus that if he worked for 8 months, he couldn't buy enough bread for each one to have a bite.
Wow.
And the best we could do was find a boy who had 5 small loaves of bread and just 2 fish.
And that's when Jesus did something amazing. Well, he told us all to sit down on the grass.
And he told us to bring the food to him.
And then he took the food, he looked up to heaven, thanked God for it.
And then just asked us to pass it out to everybody.
We were thinking that there was no way we would have enough food for more than 5,000 people. But we did as Jesus asked.
And then what?
Do you see all these baskets?
Yeah?
We have 12 of these filled with bread and fish.
That's so much extra! And Jesus did all that with 5 loaves and 2 fish?
Amazing, huh?
Unbelievable. And I ate the bread and fish and was totally satisfied.
Funny. Everyone else said the exact same thing. Another crazy thing is that we've got more leftover food than what we had when we started.
Sounds kind of like how popcorn works?
Yeah, like popcorn, but far more miraculous and less buttery.
I like butter on my popcorn,
I don't like butter.
but it tastes so good. Maybe a little bit of salt.
Well, that's really amazing. Not only amazing because Jesus did such a cool miracle, it's amazing because Jesus had compassion for the people. He was sad because John the Baptist died and he wanted to be alone, but he still took the time to heal the sick and tell them about God. And when it was time for us to go, because it was late and we were super hungry, he gave us a miraculous dinner.
Jesus has compassion that cannot be stopped.
And that compassion is way more than just feeling sad for people.
He has compassion that makes it impossible for him to not serve people.
And friends, Jesus is God, and he is filled with God's Spirit. God's Spirit also gives us compassion and the overwhelming desire to act on it and serve others, like Jesus. God's Spirit is what makes it possible for us to look around and ask what needs to be done. God's Spirit gives us compassion for others and the desire to act on it. God's Spirit of compassion not only changes our lives, but others' lives too.
All right, well, we should probably get going. I don't want the rest of the disciples to leave us behind.
Yeah.
All right, well, nice to meet you guys.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. I wonder why they would leave without us.
Just because Jesus loves me the most.
Says you.
Those guys. Anyways, thanks for letting me join you guys this week. Hope to see you soon.
In this spot of the Big God story, we hear about a time when Jesus went away to get off by himself. Or maybe you have a spot that you like to go to get away from everybody for a little bit. Maybe you're just like, I just need a little space. Jesus went away, but this time was different in that the people followed him where he went. And then it says that he had compassion on them. He had compassion, and compassion means he looks at them and he sees that they have a need and he wants to do something about it. 2 needs he looked at. First of all, that they were wanting to learn something. They were wanting some teaching, so he started to teach them, and he taught them for a long time. Their second need was that they were off away from everybody and there wasn't any food, so they were going to need food. And so Jesus does this miracle to provide their food. He saw a need and he did something about it. Now, a lot of times when we talk about compassion, we think about people with big, huge problems far away from us. But did you know that you can also have compassion for the people that are right there in your home? Jesus wants us to take the things that he has taught and act on that, do those things wherever we are. That includes our home. Because what other people are you around more than the people in your home, right? Especially right now. So how can we be compassionate to the people that are right in our homes? I'll start with the parents, so we won't pick on the kids too quick. Parents, we can have compassion on our kids. Right now, things are very different for them. The stay-at-home order, the school being different, it doesn't even matter. Even people who are homeschooled, this is different for them. For us, we homeschool, but this is not how we homeschool. We take the kids places, the kids go to different things. The kids aren't always just staying at home. Even our structure is different. And so for those of you who are in public school, I know that the structure is way different. Doing school around the dining room table is not how you think about school. Being away from your friends, not having PE, not having a lunch table, no recess, it's different. And parents, you can realize that it's very different for them, that things are odd, and you can have compassion on them. And what can you do? You can give them some grace, maybe do some extra things that are just extra fun for them, just to give them a sense that it's okay. It's okay that it's different, and it's okay that it feels a little off. Now, kids, can you have compassion for your parents? Maybe you would happen to realize that some of your parents, maybe their parents are working from home when they don't normally work at home. Maybe your parents are you're having to do school when they not usually do your school. Maybe there's several different things that they're going through that's different. Everything is different, and parents, their jobs maybe have some question. This economy, as far as what is going to happen in the world, your parents are kind of confused and maybe a little curious about just what's going to happen. And you can have compassion on them and realize that things are odd for them too. So as a kid, how can you see that your parents have a need and do something about it? Well, one, you can take it easy on them. Back off on some of the demands, not be complaining. You know, the Bible tells us to do everything without arguing or complaining. Maybe be thankful. Thank mom for cooking that meal, even if it wasn't your favorite. Maybe you can pick up some of the chores and say, hey, I want to be more helpful. I know we're all around the house. We're all making more messes than usual. I want to help. I want to pitch in. Another thing you can do for your parents, you can talk to them. Just sit down and talk. They'll be glad to. Also for others, we can look at others, and right now we can't be around a lot of people. We can't be around people at church or at school. And so how do you show compassion? One is you can try to connect, grandparents and other people, family who you don't get to see. You can send them cards or talk to them on FaceTime, things like that, to just cheer up their days, right? We have an opportunity to help others through BGMC, which is something we have talked about on Sundays, and you can collect in your barrels some money to help for people during this time, and I've got a video to tell you all about that.
Pandemics affect everyone. In the middle of this crisis, families across the United States of America are in fear of not being able to eat or feed their children. Even families whose children receive free meals at school are facing tough challenges as schools are closed and those meals are unavailable. In these times, those in poverty hurt the most. They are left with nowhere to go and no help for their families. But there is hope. Together with the boys and girls of VGMC, Convoy of Hope is responding to that need. To date, Convoy of Hope has received requests for food from 40 states and have responded with truckloads of food and supplies. But the mission isn't over, and you can help. BGMC wants to send $500,000 to Convoy of Hope for the 10 Million Meals Initiative. That's a small goal for our great big God. Even as boys and girls are required to stay at home, we see kids stepping up and with the help of their parents start raising money on social media. Kids are making things to sell in support of BGMC. We hear of kids doing extra chores around the house or in the yard and putting that money into their buddy barrels. Crisis doesn't stop generosity. In this moment where we feel helpless, let's rise up, use our creativity, and help those around us.
Jesus had compassion on others, and he did something about it. And you know what? Jesus still has compassion for us. He sees us in our need, and he's always waiting for us to look to him, to let him help us. Sometimes it's physical help, and sometimes it's just the comfort that he gives us, reminding us that he is there with us. This week, remember that Jesus loves you, that he has compassion for you, and that he wants us to show that compassion to others as well. So take some time this week to have some compassion for others. Look at people in your family. Look at your brother and sister, your mom, your dad, your grandparent, whoever it is you live with, the nice people who make you lunch. I want you to look at them and see their need and look and say, Jesus, what can I do to help? I encourage you to do that this week, and we'll see you later.
We've got a battle to fight. God is on our side. We've got a world to reach. Your spirit lives in me. We've got a need to fill. We know it's your will for the world to see, that you set them free, and you can count on me. You can count on me. I will give all I can. I will lend a helping hand. I will be all I can be. You can count on me. I will love with all my heart. I will always do my part. I will see the victory. You can count on me. We've got a battle to fight. God is on our side. We've got a world to reach. Your spirit lives in me. We've got a need to feel, and we know it's your will for the world to see, that you set them free, and you can count on me. You can count on me. I will give all I can. I will lend a helping hand. I will be all I can be. You can count on me. I will love with all my heart. I will always do my part. I will see the victory. You can count on me. Oh, 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 oh. You can count on me. I'm on a mission to set the captives free. You can count on me. You can count on me. You can count on me. Yeah. I will serve the King, and I will lay down my life for the one who died to set me free. You're my everything. You set the captives free, and I want you to know that you can always count on me.